Hi everyone, welcome to today's vlog. It's actually Saturday today and it's about 4 o'clock and it is already really dark. It's horrible. Anyway, I finished work. I finished about 2:45, which was a bit later than I was supposed to, but we were kind of running late. So anyway, I haven't done any vlogging all week and I just thought I'd sit down. I've got my cup of tea here, mint tea. I've got my hot pack and I just thought I'd sit and have a chat and a bit of a catch up actually, because I just don't feel like I have for a while, and I'm just wondering how everyone's doing. How's everybody getting on? How are you all? I'm fine, lots of good things going on, but I'm struggling a little bit, to be honest. I think it's this time of the year, which I do love autumn. I love all the colours, the trees and everything. But actually we've had quite a few days now where the majority of the day has been quite grey, and I do struggle a bit with that. So yeah, what's been going on? Well, I can't remember how many weeks ago it was now, but not that long ago here in the UK we got a new Prime Minister. Now, I don't really watch the news because I get really almost quite depressed by it and very anxious, but I do, I do read things and what have you, and I do know that we've got another Prime Minister, and this whole thing in itself is quite depressing, quite worrying. I mean, he's like some kind of billionaire or something, so he's going to have no idea whatsoever what, Joe Public are going through or gonna go through this winter with the cost of living, the rising cost of food. Literally every time I go to the supermarket, things seem to be going up in price. I wanted to buy some olive oil the other day and it was honestly so expensive. I was like, it didn't used to be this much. Also, I think for me, because my routine has changed in the last few weeks, I'm just trying to get used to it. And I find what happens when my routine changes is that I stop doing all the things that I know are good for me. And then I get into almost like a little downward spiral. Nothing terrible. I'm just, talking about things like I haven't done my journaling for ages. I haven't done any Spanish practice for about 2 weeks and I've got a lesson next week. I haven't been great at doing my exercise. I've been doing my exercises for my back because they are really helping. I do them first thing every morning and that is, non-negotiable. But my other things, which are supposed to be non-negotiable, have all gone out the window. I've not done any meditations. So I really need to get a bit of a grip. The other thing, of course, is that I have not been eating particularly well. My face looks to me like it's getting a bit podgier. My clothes still fit me, but I'm not going to lie, they're quite tight. And I'm definitely addicted to sugar again, big time. So actually, yesterday I had a word with myself about this and I was like, well, you've got to stop. Of course, today I've got a really bad headache because I haven't not had any sugar for 2 days now. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of a mixture really for me. Work, which obviously is the new factor in my life at the moment, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm doing caring in the community, which I've never done before. I've done a lot of care work in the past and I've always really, really enjoyed care work. But it's always been, for me, within a residential setting. So doing the care in the community has been really interesting. One of my biggest worries, and I am a bit of a worrier to be fair, one of my biggest worries was, would I be late, the time scale, because I think in the past I've heard quite horror stories about, people not being given enough time to do the care properly, not being given enough time to, be kind to the people that they're caring for and chat to them, which to me is a massive part of it. But actually this company that I'm working for seems to be pretty good, and I've been doing some of the rounds on my own, or some of the going to see some of the people on my own if they're like single-handed people. But a lot of the time I've actually been with a more experienced carer, so that's been really good. And the job is really varied actually when you're in the community. So, you know, you might go to somebody that needs a lot of physical care, they need feeding and hoisting and all the rest of it. And then you'll go to someone else who hardly needs any physical care, but they need support with shopping or housework or preparing a meal, or even just some companionship. So, you know, you can sit and chat to them. So I'm actually really enjoying it. And I think once I get into the swing of it and stop worrying unnecessarily about things that haven't even happened, I think I'll be fine. And it's been really good because my mum has worked for years doing care in the community. So I keep ringing her up or meeting up for coffee with her. Mum, help, what should I do here? Like, I didn't even know where you went to the toilet. Like, are you allowed to ask somebody, can I use your toilet? And so it's really silly things like that. And all the other people that I've been working with have been absolutely lovely. And so have all the people that I've been to. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like I say, I've always really liked doing care work. I find it quite enjoyable. I like chatting to people, as you've probably gathered. I like meeting other people and hearing their stories. And I always, when I used to do care, I always used to have a little rule with myself that I would always leave the person I was caring for better than I found them, and always tried to make them smile if I possibly could. And that's what I've been doing this time as well. And yeah, I am really enjoying it. And I think I'm getting into a bit of a routine again now. So I think in that sense, it's going to settle down. I'm not going to be so preoccupied with it. And I also... and I know this from when I used to do care work before, I need to look after myself, because if I'm not healthy and fit and everything, then I can't help other people. So I really, really this week need to get back into doing my eating healthily, my exercise, my meditation, journaling, all of these things. So I'm probably not going to make any vlogs, or not going to make many vlogs for the next couple of weeks. I might do a few, because actually vlogging is one of the things that I really, really enjoy doing. I like the creativeness of it, and I really miss it when I don't do it. But I'm not going to put myself under any pressure for the next couple of weeks, because, like I say, I need to get back on with doing the things that I need to do that are good for me. So yeah, if I think of a good vlog to do and I've got time, I'll do it. If not, you might see a bit of a gap from me. But don't worry, I haven't gone away completely, and I will definitely be back. I've got loads of ideas as well. So, yeah. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes, the house. We are still trying to sell our house. We finished with the last estate agent on Thursday, I think it was. And then yesterday, Friday, we had the photographer come round from a new estate agent. So hopefully it will be back on the market again on Monday. And yeah, fingers crossed. It's 5.5 weeks now, actually, until we go away, till we leave to go to Fuerteventura. So who knows, it might have, you know, we might get a buyer before then, but we might not. And, you know, I'm really kind of just going with the flow on it. I really, really like this estate agent. They've spent a lot of time with me, and they've actually listened to my, not complaints, but they've listened to my feedback about what the other estate agents, in my opinion, haven't done. And the guy that came round, he spent about 2 hours with us actually a couple of weeks ago, and I was really impressed with him. And he actually grew up and lived in Hillhead, which is where this house is, and so he knows it, and he knows the good things and the bad things about it. He also knows and has dealt with, I call him Mr. X, who is the guy who owns the the land that this house is built on. So he knows what he's like. He knows how difficult he is, that the estate agent knows. And I just feel really confident that they can deal with anything that comes up. And that's given me a lot of peace of mind, actually. And I think also with working as well, I'm not sort of so obsessed with the house. I finished my other little business a couple of weeks ago. A good friend of mine sold the last few bits that I had for me, which was really kind of her. She took them to her women's circle and sold everything. So Auntie Emma's is no more, which is a little bit sad, but I can't keep it going. I can't keep buying fabric and making stuff and then suddenly the house sells and we go, if you see what I mean. So, which is why I've got this other job. What else was I going to say? Oh yes, I've been doing post crossing. So I did speak about this in one of my earlier vlogs. I think it was when I was at my dad's. But I started doing a thing called post crossing, which is where you write postcards to people all over the world. And I've been getting some back, which has been really exciting. So I got one from Missouri in America. This one is from Rhode Island, which is also in America. I got this one, which is from Japan. And this was from a lady who works in a hospital as a therapist. So yeah, I'm loving doing this. It's really interesting. This one is from Toronto, or near Toronto. Oh, I held it up wrong. So Canada. This one was from Germany, which is a nice one. And then this one from Turkey. And last but not least, another one from the States. And this one's got a recipe on it, which is really cool. It's from Louisiana. So it's got a jambalaya recipe. Don't know if that's how you say it. Jambalaya recipe on it. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying post crossing. I've been sending quite a few postcards as well. So hopefully I should get some more back. But it's good fun. I like the slowness of it. I like the fact that you have to wait, because everything nowadays, we're so used to like instant gratification. You know, you send an email or a message or something and you expect one back straight away, or you know, you click on something online and you know it turns up the next morning. A lot of the ones I've sent, I've had messages back from people saying that they love our stamps from the UK. I don't know if it's because they've got the Queen on them, but they say they love them. And yet I think theirs are really interesting as well. You know, these ones have got flowers on them. This one's got, looks like a swirly sort of leaf pattern. There's some, and another leaf. So yeah, it's really interesting and I'm enjoying that. I've also started up my Instagram again because I was quite missing Instagram, to be honest. I quite like it. But because I feel quite busy at the moment, I'm only going on there on Tuesdays and Sundays. Otherwise I get addicted to it and I just don't have time for anything else. And as I explained already, there's certain things I need to be doing. So check out my Instagram if you haven't already, and yeah, say hi over on Instagram and then I can follow you back. Eating and diet. Now, I was doing okay, I think, the last few months. I was doing intuitive eating and I wasn't putting on any weight. I wasn't losing any weight, but I wasn't putting any on. And the last few weeks I've gone a bit out of control again. I've been eating lots of stodge, I think is the only way I can describe it. Lots of heavy carbohydrate, quite a lot of cheese, lots of sugar. I've got really addicted to sugar again, and chocolate and cakes and anything like that. I think part of it is the time of the year because it's getting colder and my body seems to say to me, what are you doing? You know, it's cold. Like I say, we don't have any heating here. And I think when I lost 6.5 stone, my body was like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, that you need to get your fat back to keep me warm. So I think when it gets to this sort of changing from summer to autumn to winter, my body gets a bit like, come on, eat stodge, which I have been doing. And I'm just thinking yesterday to myself, this has got to stop. So I'm not going on any diet or anything like that. As you know, I'm done with all that. But I am going to do 3 things over the next 5.5 weeks. Number 1 is up my protein intake. Number 2 is up my vegetable intake. And number 3 is try to avoid too much sugar and too many sugary things, because it really does trigger me. I was reading a book actually the other day that it was by, I think it was Michael Mosley, describes sugar as like being like crack cocaine. And not that I've ever been addicted to crack cocaine, but that is how I can imagine it would be. You know, I will literally go around the house looking for anything with sugar in it. Martin's had to hide everything that's even got a slight bit of sugar in it for me for the next few days. And I'll just go through this process and then I'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, I'd really like to lose a few more pounds before we go away, just because at the moment, you know, I've got all my layers on. I don't really care. I've got a baggy t-shirt that I wear to work, and then, you know, you've got your coat on or whatever. But in 5.5 weeks' time, I'm going to be in Fuerteventura, where the weather is absolutely divine at the moment, and potentially just in my sundress, you know, flip-flops, swimming costume, what have you. And I do feel a bit sort of heavy and what have you at the minute. So I might actually, I know what I'm going to do. For the next 5 weeks, I'm going to do a weekly weigh-in again. I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but I am. Just for the next few weeks, it'll give me a kick up the backside. I weighed myself yesterday, so I will do them every Friday, just for the next few weeks. Anyone else who is dieting, how are you all getting on? Is anyone else struggling this time of the year? I was watching Lovely to Tender over on Marvellous Encouragement, and she's been struggling. So I don't know if anyone else is, it's just me. But yeah, let me know in the comments. So I think that's enough from me rambling on. I'm going to, like I said earlier, I'm going to see how it goes with uploading vlogs. I've got loads of ideas. I've got them all written down in my book and I'm excited to make them, but I want to do it properly, and so it might not be straight away. But if I do a vlog, then I will of course upload it. And I will definitely see you on Friday for the first weigh-in, the first weekly weigh-in, just to, it might just kickstart me a bit. And I've got lots more ideas for the frugal tips. I've got ones for like self-care and that kind of thing, which doesn't have to be too expensive. I will hopefully have some more recipes as well, although at the moment we are using up a lot of stuff, certainly from the freezer and what have you. But I will try. I actually started making a vlog where I'm cooking, for the first time ever, spaghetti bolognese in the slow cooker, and it looked disgusting to start with. I was like, I can't cope with this. But do you know what? It was really, really tasty. I was quite amazed. So I might actually edit that one at some point and put that up, because that was quite a good one. And yeah, I will catch up with you as and when. I hope everybody else is well. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Take care, bye.